Hi, it's Kristen here with another process video, and today I'm going to be working with sketch number 6 of the 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And so it shows 4 papers going across the page, and so I'm using this paper pack that I had called Everett Road, and I felt like it looked like, kind of a springy mix of papers. So I end up backing it with some blue, just blue cardstock from Hip Kit Club. And then I'm going to do some pictures of my kids painting Easter eggs a couple years ago. I ended up really struggling with this layout. I'm not sure why. It was just like a lot of the embellishments I was pulling out didn't feel like it was working. I don't know if I was just really being really super particular. There's days where I'm kind of like that. So you'll see I kind of struggle a little bit, but I end up getting it to where I liked it okay. I mean, not my favorite layout, but so I'm working with a lot of Hip Kit Club embellishments. I was trying to get some of my stash used up, and so I'm backing this pink tag with a vellum tag, and then this piece is just like some fabric, like a fabric strip, and that came in the Good Vibes collection. So I think that was like August of last year. And so I'm just going to put it under the pictures. And I actually end up being really happy with this layout, because you'll see a little bit later, I end up pulling quite a bit of like pieces out from my stash and using like some stuff that had been my stash for a very long time, like probably since I first started scrapbooking, so probably like early 2000s. So that made me really happy to get that done. And I'm going to use the rest of that strip of paper, or that fabric piece up here at the top. I'm just going to get the tags down first. I kind of wanted to get it used up, so in that way it wasn't just, sitting there not being used. I really tried to, if I cut, like I've said before, if I cut a piece in half, I really try hard to use it on the same layout, because I feel like then sometimes you can't really make it work on other layouts, and then you've got this cut off piece of, embellishments that you're not going to probably use, and it's just going to sit there. So I really try hard to get it worked into the current layout if I cut pieces in half like that. So I'm just getting this adhered up to the top. And then I was trying to pull in these vellum pieces to get them to work on the page, and I end up pulling out the little butterflies that you see there and using those, so I was happy to get those used up. But it was like all the pieces that I was trying, it was like you could see and I could have, ended up putting it on white cardstock and doing it that way, but it was like you could see the pattern paper behind it, or it didn't look right, so. And this, I think, was from the sticker pack that you see me working with there, I think was from their February 2024 kit. So I ended up taking some little banner pieces and hanging those off the corners here. It's funny because these pictures kind of crack me up. My daughter was shirtless at the time. She wanted to be like the boys, so she would run around shirtless a lot. She really doesn't. She'll do that every once in a while, but not as often as she did when she was a little bit smaller. So every time I do any kind of a layout with a house, I do try, like if we're at our house or, somewhere home, I really try to get like little home embellishment pieces worked in there. Although I did like that initially, but then I end up going away from it and using some other pieces instead. Now these floral pieces that you see me working with, those were actually from Joann's. So I got that, during their clearance. And this, I think, was like an embellishment box by, I don't remember what the company was called. I don't think it was it Piper Lane or, anyways, it was like a really good value. Like normally they were like around $22, and I got those for I think around $9 or something. So, and it came with a ton of stuff in it. So this little bunny rabbit was from the March Hip Kit Club kit. So I'm just trying to kind of like work in a bunch of different pieces just to get things used up. I like this yellow flower, but I couldn't make it work with that floral cluster there, so I do end up taking that yellow flower off. And since it was Easter egg decorating, I really wanted to get the bunny in there, so I couldn't really make the house work with that. It just didn't look right, so. And I'm going to start getting some stuff glued down here. And so far I was like, oh, I was happy with it, but I kind of thought it was looking a little plain, which I do have a tendency to sometimes over-embellish, but. And this says Happy Little Moments, so I just put that right in the middle of their pictures there. And then this is some washi tape from Simple Stories. I don't use my washi tape enough, and I have so much washi tape, and I actually got these washi tapes in like a warehouse kit from Simple Stories. So I decided to use it as I kind of felt like the borders were looking a little plain, and obviously there's not, anywhere where I can really like do a border there, since everything's kind of like right on the edge. So I just decided to put those strips of washi tape down. And then this piece is a puffy sticker that says Sweet, and it's from their April kit. And these little butterflies are, I think, from their April kit as well. And they're just puffy stickers. And then these are some puffy sticker flowers I'm putting down. So at this point, once I get this done, I had actually taken some pictures of it and just considered it done. So I'm journaling there. And we ended up going to like a function, and I just was like, I wasn't happy with it. I just kept ruminating on it. So I came back home and I was like, let me see, since I'm trying to do like a little bit of stash busting, let me see if there's anything in my stash that would really work well with this layout. And so I find these flowers, so these pink, blue, and the little white ones are like little vellum flowers. And I've had those since, probably early 2000s. So I'm like, let me get those juiced up. I really like those on the layout. And then these little stickers, I think those I might have gotten those from like Michael's or something. But anyways, they were very Easter themed. And I was like, let me get some of these used up. So I just kind of start going a little crazy here. I don't want to say over embellishing, but at this point, like the layout wasn't my favorite. And sometimes like if a layout isn't my favorite, I just kind of am like, you know what? I like to embellish. Let's just do it and use up some embellishments and just have fun with it. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. These are little carrot pieces. I've got like some little egg pieces, a little duck breaking out of an egg there, or a chick, I guess. I decided to put these cute little bunny ears on my daughter. So she was in the room when I took that sticker out, and she really liked that I did that. So, and then these are stickers that I purchased at Joann's as well. So and they kind of went with the color. So I just kind of started putting a smattering of those on, some hearts, I think some of them are stars, and at this point I'm starting to like the layout a little bit better. As much as it's starting to maybe look a little, I don't want to say it's really embellishment heavy, but maybe a little chaotic, I guess, but I end up being happy with the layout in the end and felt good about getting some of the stuff used up. So and you can see I'm just like, you know what? Let's have fun. I'm just going to put stuff where I want it and use some of the stuff up, because otherwise it's just going to sit in a drawer. So I got finished with that layout, and I'm like, you know what? I really don't have that many more pictures of the same Easter egg decorating time. So I ended up picking out a couple more of the pictures from us decorating Easter eggs, and decided to do like a double layout with it. So you see here that I've turned, because I had more papers in that paper pack, I end up turning the papers and going across the page instead, and then put the washi tape at the top and the bottom. same blue paper. And then I'm going to start using some embellishments again from Hip Kit Club. So this is, I think from their, yeah, this is from their March kit. So I'm just going to start pulling in pieces here. And this layout I felt like flowed a little bit more easily for me. I felt like the embellishments kind of came a little bit more naturally. I don't know if now my mindset was kind of in it, or I just felt like things kind of worked a little bit better on this page. I think some of it was the diagonal way that the papers were going up the page. I just feel like that was kind of maybe throwing me a little bit with the pictures up at the top, was trying to embellish it to where it would still draw your eye up, I guess, towards the picture. So I think that might have been a little bit of why maybe I struggled so much with that. And like I said, I try to always get a house embellishment piece down if I'm doing a layout where we were at the house. This little blue bow, that actually almost made it on the other part of the layout, on the first one that I did. And then I like the little arrow. I decided to put that pointing towards my son because it says feeling it, because he was just making funny faces and just being a total goofball. So, so he can be very animated. He's the one that usually, if you hear like during my unboxing videos, he's the one that's usually the one that's like making the sounds like he's a leaf blower or something. He's always making some kind of noise. So I'm going to tuck this piece up underneath this picture up here. It says Happy Special Days, and then layer it with this little tag here. And then on either side, I'm going to put some floral pieces. So this, again, this is still all Hip Kit Club stuff, and most of it's from their March kit. These little banner pieces I decided I'm going to tuck in kind of on either side of this little photograph picture there, or photograph embellishment there. And then this is one of the last bunnies that I have of the Hip Kit Club group. So it came with a couple bunny rabbits. So I decided to get this one worked in here. And I like this little banner piece. I was back and forth on whether I was going to use it there. And then I was trying to fill in that blank spot by the bunny rabbit, and I had put a couple different things there, and it just wasn't really working. And I found that pink tree, and I was like, oh, that'd be perfect there. So, and here are the last couple pieces from that Easter set of stickers that I was trying to use up. I was going to try to work them in on the other page, but I couldn't really work that lamb in anywhere, so I ended up going back to the first page and just popping it on there. Now this floral piece, I was kind of like, I could probably work it in here on the other layout, but then I was like, let me double check and make sure there's not a better spot for it on the other one. But so I do end up tucking it there. It was popped up on foam, so I take the foam backing off just to get it to lay a little bit more flat behind the butterfly. So that's what I was doing there. And it's kind of like an acetate piece with like some glitter and then these pieces are from the March kit still, and I don't have like a ton of these pieces left over, so I'm trying to get some of them used up. These hearts it's kind of got like a glittery sheen to it, so they're really pretty. So I decided to kind of spruce up the washi tape and put the hearts on those spots there. And then this is like a glitter floral cluster. I ended up putting it there because then I decided I'm going to put some of these little glitter hearts and some glitter dots kind of scattered around the page just to get some more pieces used up. So the reason why I was kind of like so focused on getting some Hip Kit stuff used up is I have a ton of Hip Kit stuff. So I just joined Hip Kit, I think in December, but then they had a couple really good sales, where you could go on and like buy their older kits for like not much money at all. I mean, I feel like really good value. So I bought, each time they had a sale, I just went crazy. So I have a ton of kit pieces to use from different kits. And so I'm really trying to work hard on using some of that up, because then come June, they had issues with shipping because of, I guess, the tariffs and things. So they couldn't ship the May kit out. So they're shipping the May and the June kit combined together. So it's like, I know, like here in a couple weeks, I'm going to like be inundated with a bunch more stuff coming in. So I'm really trying hard to like use more of that stuff. Plus I've, purchased other things. So it's like, it just gets to a point where you start to feel overwhelmed. There's my cat. She was coming up to say hi. And these final little pieces I was putting on there are puffy stickers from the March kit. And so here is the close-up of the first layout. I actually think it turned out pretty cute. Again, not my favorite, but I did get some old stuff used up. And then, yep, that's still the first one. And then this is the second layout. So I decided, let's just make it a double layout and get more stuff used up. So I actually was really happy with it. It turned out really cute. Sometimes for me, Easter stuff is kind of hard to kind of think of ways to scrapbook it. Thanks for coming by to watch another process video.